You gotta help us over here. This guy's crazy. He scrapes all our skin off. He cuts us in half. He throws us in this machine and squeezes all our guts out. Look at my buddy over here. He's ready to go in the machine. Help!
Welcome to today's videos. Today's video is limoncello. We have a bunch of lemons. We got a total of 283 lemons. We have one refrigerator drawer full of lemons. We got a drawer full of lemons. Drawer full of lemons. Lemons, lemons, lemons. Amazon box full of lemons. More lemons. More lemons. You're going to say these are oranges? No, they're lemons. It must be a hybrid. We get these from Pensacola, Florida. We're going to zest them with a microplane zester. There's no better tool than the microplane. I've tried a bunch of different other zesting methods, and this method, made it right side up, this method is the best. So we're going to zest this bunch of lemons. We're going to put it in some Everclear, and then we're going to juice these lemons with the Bravo juicer. We've already run 270 something lemons through this thing. It's a little warm, but it's still going strong. Let's zest them. Just zest away, but try not to get any of the white pith. And any dirty spots on these babies, just go by it. Zesting, zesting, zesting. One thing you want to be careful of, do not zest your knuckles or your fingers. And you need to keep count of how many lemons you zest per batch, because that will determine the Everclear. Look how nice, look what a nice job, look what a nice job this baby does. And this thing is razor sharp. It's even got a little curved end on it so you can get around the creases. We're gonna call that baby zest. 10 more to go. Cup and a half of lemon zest. One liter. How come I can't say liter? 1 liter of Everclear 151. We can't find 190 where we live, so we got to go with the 151. And we'll be back in about 6 weeks.
No, 2 to 3 weeks.
We'll be back in 2 to 3 weeks. We've got our zested lemons in the 151 Everclear. It's been now 3 weeks, right? 3 weeks? 3 weeks. There's a lot of debate on how long to let your zest sit in the Everclear. Some people let it sit for 2 days, 9 days, 14 days. We chose 3 weeks. 3 weeks worked great for us last time. You'll know when it's ready is when the zest turns a lighter color and it gets brittle. This zest has gotten brittle. You can feel it. It actually feels kind of a little bit crunchy. So now we know we're ready. We've got different combinations of zest with alcohol, but today we're going to make the recipe that we made last year that's really good, which is this one. This recipe is the zest of 10 lemons, 1 liter of 151 Everclear. Now we're going to get ourselves a simple syrup. We're going to boil water, so we get 3 cups of boiled water and add 2 cups of sugar until it dissolves. We're going to let it come to room temperature. We're going to dump that in here. We're going to let it sit for another 2 weeks. If you want your limoncello to be sweeter, just let it sit with the sugar water longer. The longer you let it sit in the sugar water, the sweeter your end product will be. Let's boil the water, dissolve the sugar, and add it to this jug. We've got our simple syrups made in batches, each batch according to what the recipe is on each one of these containers. This is zest of 10 lemon, 1 liter of 151. Sugar water with 3 cups of water, 2 cups of sugar. This, we got 2 cups of lemon zest, 150 milliliters of 151, 750 milliliters of water, and 600 grams of sugar, which is 3 cups to make our sugar water. This one, we got the zest of 9 lemons, 1 liter of 151, 2 cups of water with 2 cups of sugar to make our simple syrup. And then we got the Mambo jug over here. This has the zest of 80 lemons, 6 liters of 151, 24 cups of water, and 16 cups of sugar to make our simple syrup. These 3 have cooled. This one has not. That's a big old pot of hot syrup. We're going to fill these up. Got all of our sugar water mixed in with our zest and alcohol. Now for the alcohol, you have to use Everclear. You got to use grain. We prefer 190. We can't get 190 in Florida, so we settle for the 151. We don't use vodka or anything like that. We use the grain. Then you're probably saying, hey, that looks kind of dark and brown. Well, we use raw sugar too instead of white sugar. So we'll make, it's organic sugar, by the way, which would make this limoncello a little more healthy. This goes into a dark, cool place for 2 more weeks.
Yes.
We'll be back. Today is limoncello bottle day, freeze it and taste test day. Each one of these containers, we're going to drain it, strain it probably 3 times because we're going to use a siphon to get the liquid out first. And the siphon does have a screen. Siphon does have a nice fine screen on it. Clarify how a siphon works. I could take fluid out of this container and transfer it to this container, but the end in the new container has to be lower than the end in the high container. You can't siphon this way, it doesn't work. You gotta siphon this way. Let's siphon and strain and bottle these up. For demonstration purposes, we put this can up top. I brought this up on the countertop. We're gonna do the siphon. You gotta have this end, it's gotta be lower than this end, that's all. And just squeeze. And here it goes. We've got flow. We're gonna let this strain the first one, then we'll take the zest out, we'll squeeze it, we'll strain it one more time, and then we're gonna bottle it. You just gotta make sure you keep this end under the liquid. If it comes up for a second, it's gonna burp and you're gonna lose your siphon. That's all we got. The filter's out of the fluid, we're sucking air now. Now we'll squeeze that, filter everything again, and bottle it. This pot's 100% filtered. There's nothing in it as far as debris. Now we got a strainer, and we got another pot with a strainer. We're gonna do a double layer of cheesecloth, and we're gonna dump all of this right into that, just like so. And we're gonna squeeze this till we get all the liquid out of it. And we're gonna take that first layer of cheesecloth. We're gonna wring everything we can out of this zest. You gotta be careful with the cheesecloth because once it gets wet and if you squeeze it too hard, you can poke your fingers through it and then it's junk. All right, I don't think we're gonna get much more out of that. I wish I wasn't so old I could squeeze it harder. We get everything we're gonna get out of that batch. This batch turned out to be 2,000 milliliters, which is 2 liters. And we're gonna bottle them in these 1 liter bottles. Batch 1 is done. 10 more gallons to go. We have all of our limoncello containered and ready for the freezer and refrigerator. And boy, we sampled all of these and they are delicious. Limoncello actually is a digestivo, but guess what we're gonna do right now? We're gonna turn it into an aperitivo because we're gonna mix some limoncello with some champagne. Let's have ourselves a nice before dinner drink because you know what? We've been making this limoncello today for 6 hours and we're hungry and we need ourselves an aperitivo. Give ourselves some nice white champagne in there, make it to whatever you decide you like your ratio. Limoncello, this is batch number 1. This was a good one. They're all good. We'll give ourselves a little splash of limoncello there. Oh, look at the carbonation bubbly in there. The limoncello process is finally complete. This has probably taken 6 weeks to get all of this done. And cheers with an icy cold aperitivo. Ooh, man, that's like a nice carbonated, lemonade-y, tasty drink. Very good. As a matter of fact, we sampled all of these and we haven't found a bad one yet. Well, make yourself some limoncello. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. Take care. See ya.